Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack complex world events, using the source material to give you, well, the shortcut to understanding. Today we're looking at a really abrupt, pretty fascinating power shift. The sudden military takeover in Madagascar, that island nation in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, it was incredibly sudden, not a slow burn at all. You had the President Andry Rajoelina literally flee the country, and then, boom, a military power seizure that was surprisingly quite popular on the streets.
Exactly. And our sources really highlight this collision of three key forces. You've got this insistent Gen Z youth movement demanding change. Then there's the military, the muscle, and finally this layer of last-minute constitutional tricks trying to make it look legit.
That's the core of it. So our goal today really is to analyze that specific sequence of events. How did the military actually seize control? We need to look closely at the roles played by those Gen Z protesters, the defecting soldiers, and crucially, the kind of constitutional gap that opened up. For you listening, the key thing to grasp is that relationship between, let's say, raw popular anger and the actual mechanisms of power, or maybe the breakdown of those mechanisms.
Right. And the source material gives us a sharp focus on one particular moment, doesn't it? The military showing up at the big 13 May Square. What the military leader actually said and how people on the ground reacted, it's not your standard coup narrative. It feels more like, I don't know, a hostile takeover where the shareholders suddenly cheered.
That's a good way to put it. So let's set that scene. This didn't come out of nowhere entirely.
No, absolutely not. The background was weeks, really, of these huge, sustained protests. Overwhelmingly young people, Gen Z. And their demand was pretty straightforward. President Rajoelina had to go now.
And the sources suggest this wasn't just, general unhappiness, it was specific. Frustration over corruption, definitely. High youth unemployment was a massive factor, and just this feeling that the old guard wasn't tackling the deep economic problems.
So you have this intense pressure from the streets. But that wasn't the only pressure Rajoelina was under, was it?
Not at all. That street pressure is one thing, but when your own military starts defecting in large numbers, well, that changes the game completely. The instruments the state relies on to maintain control were literally walking away and, in some cases, joining the other side. The regime was clearly on borrowed time.
Which brings us right to that pivot point, the actual takeover moment. An Army Colonel, Michael Randrianarina, steps up. He leads this mutiny, gathers soldiers, but crucially, they don't just seize buildings, they go public.
Yes, they went straight to Antananarivo's 13 May Square and essentially joined the demonstrators who were already there, demanding Rajoelina's exit. They got up on stage with them.
That location, 13 May Square, that's significant in Madagascar historically.
Hugely significant. It's tied to past democratic movements.
Yep.
So the military choosing that spot to merge their mutiny with the youth protest, it was powerful symbolism. It sent a message: we're not here to crush you, we're with you.
And Colonel Randrianarina didn't leave any room for doubt. He went on national radio. The quote was stark.
Incredibly stark. Simply, we have taken power. That's it, no ambiguity.
So power seized. What happens next on the streets? Because this is where it gets counterintuitive.
It really is. You have these young protesters who maybe just days or weeks before saw those same soldiers as the enemy, right? The people enforcing the regime they hated. But when the military declared they were in charge, the reaction was, well, euphoria.
The sources are pretty explicit about this. Young people outside the city hall in the capital calling it very good news. Some even saying it deserved a national celebration. It's quite a turnaround.
It is, and it really highlights this paradox. We often think of military takeovers as inherently anti-democratic, but the quotes from the protesters themselves show this intense pragmatism. One specific quote really stands out.
Which one is that?
Someone said, basically, 2 weeks ago we were fighting tooth and nail with the military, and today we have won.